Thanks, Zan. Doug Stoup in the studio, one of my good friends, and we work together on these polar trips, taking skiers to the Arctic, to Antarctica. Good to have you in here, man.
Awesome to see you, Todd.
Yeah.
It's always great, especially in the summer, too.
Yeah, exactly. Typically, we're meeting in these polar regions. So, what's been your latest? Where you just got back from Europe or something? This guy's everywhere.
I was in Mallorca for the summer. I ended up getting married earlier in May and just sort of enjoying life and been doing a lot of paddling. Last weekend, I was at Tahoe Festival, which is up North Shore, and doing some racing up there, which was a fantastic family fun weekend on the lake. And beautiful Lake Tahoe. Here we are.
That was fun last weekend because we had the live camera up there, and I knew you would know, and I texted you in the morning, and Doug sending me the information of what the event was, and then we kind of were talking about what it was. So I have to ask you, it was funny driving in this morning. I was looking forward to seeing you here, and then trying to get this point across of how cool these trips we do to Antarctica and to the Arctic are. What was it that, you did so many trips to Antarctica, but I can't imagine what it took you to get that commitment of leasing that giant Russian converted icebreaker to go down to Antarctica with so many skiers. That took that was such a leap of faith, really.
Well, absolutely, it's a dream, and we specialize in skiing to wildlife. And just being in Antarctica, I fell in love with the continent late 1990s, and just had a dream to go there. I had a small team and wanted to bring 100 of my best friends to Antarctica skiing, and it's grown to we take a boat down there every year. November 7th through the 19th this year we'll be going. We still have some spots available, and Todd usually guides for us to Antarctica, so come on down. It's an amazing group of people, 120 skiers. We do a 4-to-1 for clients to one guide ratio, and we have a fantastic time, and we ski back to the boat for finger sandwiches and some great food.
Yeah, and seeing this kind of wildlife, whales and seals, penguins walking right next to you. It's hard to really capture and articulate how cool the trip is, because then in the evenings you're coming back to this ship with having been on lots of expeditions. I have. The thing I'm always pitching is it's the most wildest expedition you can imagine because it's Antarctica, but you come back to a warm bed, hot meals, and then the other really amazing bonus is each night there's a presentation from one of the biologists or historians on the boat, or one of the ski guides that have climbed Mount Everest. Or it's really amazing, the whole overall experience beyond just the skiing.
Absolutely, and there's chocolates on the pillows. The only reason I know that is I had one embedded in my cheek one morning. But it don't get what the misconception is. Most people think that it's too intense. There's too much intense skiing and it's too difficult. I'd say 35 to 40% of the clients have never backcountry skied. And we usually put our best guide, like Todd, on those clients so they have an incredible experience and really enjoy the experience of backcountry skiing. And if people like to hike, you would love backcountry skiing because you're going up in this pristine, clean place in the beautiful Antarctica, and a lot of the times we'll see whales breaching in the fjords, and seals, and of course skiing down to penguins is just a special experience.
It's such a good point, because I find the same thing as I'm trying to bring friends on these trips. They say, well, I don't really backcountry ski. But you can learn to backcountry ski anywhere. And I've had friends that are big backcountry skiers that have it come, and they say, oh, I can't believe someone would learn to backcountry ski in Antarctica. And it's like, why not? Snow is snow and a mountain's a mountain, and it doesn't need to be extreme. We have people, we had 70-year-olds on this last one from Sweden, and
anywhere from 8 to 78. So there's a large age group. You can bring your kids. We even do some live feeds to classrooms, which is something I'm really passionate about as well. So check us out at www.iceaxe.tv. And we'll get you signed up. If not this year, we'll be going next November.
I love it.
We also do trips to the Amazon as well.
And then just to bring up so that's in the fall. That's the trip we do in the beginning of November. And then the other trips we're doing in the spring, looks like I'm going back to the Arctic, Svalbard. How do you describe Svalbard to somebody? Every time I mention it, Spitsbergen. Do you say Spitsbergen, do you say Svalbard, and what's the difference?
Well, Svalbard is the whole archipelago. There's several islands, thousands of islands actually, and the island that we concentrated on is Spitsbergen.
Okay.
So Svalbard is the whole archipelago. Spitsbergen is the island that we go to. We fly into a place called Longyearbyen, which is above the Arctic Circle. It's 600 miles from the North Pole and 600 miles from continental Norway. So it's this anomaly where a lot of people don't even realize that it's a place or an island, and there's a fantastic skiing. We're on a sailboat and sailing into the fjords and jumping off the boat and skiing pristine, clean lines that are amazing.
And seeing polar bears.
And polar bears, walrus, seals, reindeer.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, it's a similar but almost completely different trip in that you're going to the northern hemisphere into the Arctic, and you're on a much more smaller, intimate boat. And I have to always say, I always tell my friends, I'm kind of claustrophobic. I am claustrophobic, so I was so worried about being on this small sailboat, but I had absolutely no claustrophobic. It was just so comfortable and such a great experience.
Well, Ice Axe, it's uniquely that you're skiing 24 hours. You guys were skiing from 8 o'clock at night till 8 in the morning. Ice Axe Expedition specializes in human-powered trips to remote places on the planet, and you're skiing to wildlife, and that's the special thing about it. I love skiing to wildlife, and I think we have that here in Tahoe as well.
And then the latest addition to the Ice Axe itinerary is for this coming May to Kamchatka.
Kamchatka, we're doing 10 days there on a boat as well. We're also doing Greenland ski touring and also a boat in Iceland. We have a sailboat in Iceland on that Troll Peninsula that's everybody's been skiing. So we got all kinds of adventures, mostly human-powered ski adventures, and Todd usually is guiding most of them. So certainly have a great time out there skiing around the world.
It's fun having you in here and just a bit of talk about this because we talk about it a lot on the show, and every presentation I do now involves a big part of what we're doing with Ice Axe, because you've turned me on to these polar regions and a completely different lifestyle. Living on a boat and skiing off a boat is like no other experience. It beats a lodge, it beats a hut, because you're moving the lodge, moving the hut around daily. You don't like this area, move it to the other area. It's incredible.
Well, I spent my life guiding people to the North and South Pole, and you're living in a tent in pretty extreme conditions. This is primarily a luxury experience where you're on a really nice boat or a sailboat, and experiencing that from the water is certainly a different perspective.
And then just to wrap it up real quick, you also do these paddleboard trips in December down to the Amazon. How did that come about? Because that seems completely opposite of these other trips.
Well, I'm ensconced with learning about remote places and paddleboarding and fishing trips down the Brazilian Amazon. I know you learn so much from these Brazilian guides, and the paddling is perfect. The rivers rise about 35 feet, and it's perfect for stand-up paddling through the flooded forest, and great food on the boat as well, and 24 passengers. It's an excellent trip.
Unbelievable.
December 2nd through the 13th.
And all of that's on the Ice Axe Expedition TV.
IceAxe.tv.
IceAxe.tv. Go to the site right now. Check it out. You'll be amazed at some of these trips we're doing. Who's on the phone? Oh, Captain Ron's on the phone right now. Ski Run Boca. What's up, Ronnie?
Oh, just looking at this lake, thinking about how enjoyable it is going to be today.